Welcome to Rituals and Conversations, where we explore the everyday rituals, lived experiences, and conversations that shape modern day living. Today, I'm joined by Karina, of the founder of Kinect, a platform created as a hub for families in Switzerland with young children, giving a sense of community for parents navigating early childhood. In this episode, we talk about why Kinect was born, the real gaps Karina experienced as a young mother herself living in Switzerland, and what are the rituals that Karina does regularly to navigate not only motherhood, but being an entrepreneur as well. Welcome, Karina. You come with an extremely diverse educational and professional background. How do these different disciplines inform the way you approach supporting families through Connect? Was there a particular moment when you realized these skills could converge into something meaningful?
Hi, Mina. Thank you for inviting me, first of all. It's a pleasure to be here and talk a little bit about Kinect and the story behind it. Yes, I have a quite interesting background, and there's no particular way that it came into place. I think it's just a live experience that added on top, and I think a bit of confidence to use the technical tools in order to create a digital tool myself. So a background gave me confidence, and live experience as mother gave me the idea and motivation to start. Yes.
What were the gaps that you particularly felt and that gave the need for this platform?
When I became mom, of course, I think we all feel overwhelmed with the information on one side. On the other side, we look for the information. And Kinect was born from seeing from the early months to till let's say 9 months. It more or less I was 9 months postpartum when I started. During that time, I've been very active in the WhatsApp groups. During early days, I was going through Reddit posts. Then afterwards, I was wondering where to go. Where is the good place to go out with my kid? Breastfeed in my situation was not easy to breastfeed outside, so I needed a space that was prepared for that. And I have found tools out there that do things, or the resources. So I could always ask in the WhatsApp groups. I was redirected somewhere. I found this, I found that. But with some of the tools, I have realized that they're just not user friendly. They don't work properly. They are made with a good intention, but they don't work properly. On the other hand, I was also seeing on the WhatsApp groups that the questions reappear every single week, and they're answered and answered again. And I thought, okay, of course, this is a community exchange. It should be like this. But maybe there is a way to make a central place, like a library of all these things, which can be searchable. And that was the basic idea back then of how I can at least centralize information. And I would say that was a stage one, or is a stage one of Kinect, because during building it, I also realized that's not enough for actual building gaps in community to make moms feel less lonely. There's a lot that have learned already during the building, and the vision is changing. The vision is expanding into something else slowly.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense because it keeps, as you experience and you get this feedback, you can incorporate. I know there's a lot going on for you. Early motherhood, building a platform, taking all of this scattered information, bringing it together. How do you balance all of this? Being a mom, a postpartum practitioner in training, a founder. So, what are your daily, weekly rituals that keep you grounded so you can build a community platform and be a present mom?
I'll be honest, as you said, in this kind of situation, in the motherhood and trying to build things, taking on new things, I realized this winter that maybe I'm not balanced at all. Balancing act is one wise woman told me, it's like, it's not static, right? It is wobbling all the time. And I think I actually did not pay attention to myself in that sense. I think through starting Kinect so bold and so strong and so fast and so motivated, I actually tried to prove something to myself as well. And I forgot myself in the process. So I actually intentionally started to look for ways that I can slow down and find these moments and not to be productive all the time. And I think that's a very important message for me in general, that it is all a road, a path of mom to go through these different places in their character, in how they are, to find this new identity. And I think this is all embedded. The Kinect is embedded in my path of identity building, rediscovering myself, trying things, experimenting. And as much as I want Kinect to help others, it is very much connected to my path. But I was thinking about it. Is there something that was grounding me the whole motherhood journey? And there is something special that I wouldn't even think about it. But since my daughter is born, every night I put her to bed, and every night I have a routine. A routine is a ritual, right? And it's not it's not a book, pajama sleep thing. Actually, our routine is very magical. And I think it gives me this sense of gratefulness every day. I have a light, like a galaxy light, which was present and the birth of my daughter. I have a special song, the same song every night. It's a mantra song. And I sing it to her, and it had changed since she was a little. She would fall asleep already during that. Right now, she's fighting it a little bit, or we have to, I tried to kind of put her away to dance already with me, but it's not possible. She starts to play with toys, but it's changing, but it's every day the same. And I think it grounds me a lot. It connects me with her. It really makes me grateful for every single day. So that's the main thing that keeps me grounded. On the other hand, when I find the time for myself, it's usually a bath, which I think, whether it's with Epsom salt, whether it's with light, without light, with candle, no candle, depending on the time available, water and the bath was always my thing before and now. And this is something where I truly just kind of have for myself. So yes, it's not a lot of this moment, and I think I'm not the only one, but I'm trying to really right now refocus the energy and fuel myself a little bit more in order to be able to continue this path. Yeah.
You shared so many valuable lessons that you discovered on this journey, which is so humbling for all of us as women when we become mothers. Just accepting that we're not our old self and that the hustle that we could do earlier needs to be more feminine and more gentle, and just being gentle with ourselves. What you described as a ritual, a routine, or a habit, whatever you may call it, at nighttime, that moment of connection with your baby is also just a connection with yourself, and that bath and that warming. And maybe those moments are not as often as they could be now. But thank you for sharing that vulnerability, because I think we all need a reminder that it's okay not to be okay in many moments when we're learning this whole new journey of motherhood. And you're doing two things at one time, not only navigating this, but also building a platform which is based on feedback, which goes into my very next question. Since you're building this community driven platform that is growing with inputs from families, what has surprised you most about inviting others into your vision? I know you've mentioned that it's very flexible, and that's, I think, your first feedback. How are you navigating balancing between what your personal story is while creating a space for diverse voices?
It's very difficult actually to, the research process and feedback process is quite time-taking process because you need to meet, you need to talk, you need to analyze. And I've done a big round of that before I started building. And to be honest, then I got embedded into building, into the event I've organized to kind of kick this all in real life as well. And since then, it's a little bit challenging. It's been a little bit challenging to find a moment or structure instead of building on top what I already have to actually sit and regain another round of feedback, right? So I've been having some internal ways that feedback can be gathered through the platform, but for now, this is not really working. I think about getting another round of surveys, questionnaire about that. But moreover, I actually decided to turn this thing into not solo journey. That's another learning that I think there's so many moms in the similar stage, in the similar situation that either want to do even similar thing or they do a part of the thing I want to do or they want to do completely something else, but they don't have this network. They don't have this feeling of belonging and that someone can just give you feedback, someone can motivate you, someone can just have a coffee with you. You have something else than just home, the laundry, the job. Maybe you have full-time job. That's also right a situation, but you crave for something more at some point, whether it's sport, whether it's wellness, whether it's actually community. Maybe you actually crave people. So I'm at the stage where I'm not rushing it, but I think about direction of Kinect not becoming a startup. There was always not really a vision to be a business, but rather a mission and association for expats, a home for parents, especially moms, where they can feel like they're not alone. Now for people who would like to get engaged and they shape with me the future of Kinect, whether it's focused on the platform itself, whether it's focused on real events, whether it's focused on initiatives, protests, whatever the people who come to me want to do, like I'm in. But the lesson of not doing it alone, I reworked during working on Kinect. I don't want to do it anymore alone. Even if it will take longer, yes, I think this has to be more intentional. I don't think just another platform is making a difference.
Yeah, that's really, really valuable what what you've shared and being so vulnerable about building because it is being an entrepreneur is a very lonely journey. It's not glamorous, but when you build it in community and with feedback and with input, it can be so much more meaningful. And you get people involved in this whole platform. And especially what you're creating is for families, for moms to come in. They could have a full-time job, but they could also want, like you said, be more purpose driven, more, giving back driven, which is really an amazing mission to have. You've shared this in a way, but is there something that you wish was happening more openly, not just in Switzerland, but more globally? And I'm talking about early parenthood. And
Yeah.
what is it that you hope to achieve through your platform and normalize about this so that families, especially young families, can feel supported?
Yes, I think will be how platform will be shaped, this I said will be decided with other people. But I think through my all activity with the platform and postpartum work that I am getting into more closely, there are a few things. I think people and parents do not realize, and I was there, how important it is to actually get ready, how important it is to educate yourself. But you cannot fully prepare yourself for it, but you can make it a little bit easier on yourself. And one of the topics that I think is not spoken enough in Switzerland, in the world, is mattresses. So we touched on it already. is this identity shift when you become a mom, and it affects the whole system because it affects also the partner. And when the partner is not aware what is happening, when the mother is not aware what is happening, we often mislabel this as either being hormonal or just, being postpartum. That's normal. And we dismiss the real feelings, the real transition that the woman is going through. And that's one of the biggest changes in identities that there is. Another one is when you become the adult, right? That's when the hormonal, but that one is really spaced in time. The matrescence happens very quickly, comparingly. The hormonal changes there are, but it's not only that. It's everything. It's who you are, and it's becoming someone new, and not less, not more, not only the mother. It's also very often perceived that now you're just a mother, like you're just talking about your kid. We really forget to go deeper, to give grace to ourselves, right? The moms, to be more compassionate with ourselves, and often end up to be mislabeled as, oh, maybe she has postnatal depression, postnatal anxiety, where what they go through, it's normal, but it has to be approached with more care and attention and compassion. And the systems that we live in do not regard this at all, and I don't know how, I don't know when. I hope this will change because we are the backbone of society. Our care of children creates the future of the world. I mean, it's just like, if you think about in the small or big way, I mean, it has huge effect. So I think this is the most important point for me, although there is way more there. There are so many gaps, but this is like the one that I'm really now into, and it's my mission to kind of get it out and get the mother visible more in the world.
That's very, very important what you've shared, actually, what you've touched upon, like you said, because this is a very long conversation. This whole labeling of just a mom, it's quite a trigger, right? Because it's such a massive responsibility that just comes onto you. There is no manual that is given. And it's also no one size fits all. Because you can be a mom, you can also choose to have a full-time career, or you can, be at home and raise really responsible citizens of the world, which is a huge responsibility. I know you've touched on all of this. And whatever one's path they may choose to, because you become a completely new person after motherhood, it changes you in ways you never imagined. So I think that postnatal depression or the postpartum, we really need to have grace for that period, because body has already gone through so much. There is a complete change. The body is never going to be the same what it was pre-pregnancy and post-pregnancy. Acceptance of just not the physical appearance, but even mental. I just want to summarize it, because these are such important conversations. Your platform hopefully addresses partner support, because they need to be educated as well, that your wife is not going to be that woman that you married with those romantic dates and all of that love that came in the beginning. She's now a mother who she does not know what this is. You need to support her. She does not need a second or a third child to take care of during this time, because she's not going to have that bandwidth. You need to be there. So having that kind of education would be great and valuable even for them. And even for moms, to tell them that it's okay. If you were an ambitious corporate driven person, it's okay to take that time now, because eventually it's going to catch up. It's going to catch up, because now I'm in perimenopause. Perimenopause is coming. It's coming. No one is escaping that. So if you've rushed that postpartum, it's going to it's going to show up in perimenopause or even menopause. So be gentle with yourself during this time. So thank you so much, Karina, because what you're building is so valuable. I know you're in the young motherhood stage where you're bringing all of this information, but trust me, as you become a mother of a toddler and then much older, you will see there is so much that you need to do because you're building something so beautiful. And I wish you so much success. And I can't wait to see how this grows with you. And thank you for being on Rituals and Conversations, because it is through these conversations that others can learn and hear and get the help that they need. And I'll also share how they can be part of your platform. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.